Adding that teaspoon of vegetable charcoal and watching the whole thing go black, it was like, well, this is it. You know, if this tastes as good as it looks, then that's what we'll do. We'll be the place that sells black pizza. And there you have it, the world's only Vampire Pizzeria.
Cool, right.
Should we go up and under?
Up and under, yeah.
Basically, I'm a horror-loving ex-childhood magician who loves food, fell in love with the hospitality business, and now I own the world's only Vampire Pizzeria. Pretty straightforward career path now. I'm just like a nerd who likes pizza, basically. I like American food, I like horror movies, I like board games, I like puppets. What I discovered through this process is like these communities, the goth community, the metal community, the alt community, you know, they have spaces to call their own, but they're generally speaking dive bars and gig venues. I don't think that I was expecting for them to be as dazzled by it as they were, because for me it's just normal to love everyone and serve everyone, you know. The alternative communities have nowhere to call their own, that's a restaurant. So people come literally from all over the world, and they come regularly. We've got friends in Texas, we've got friends in Australia, we've got friends in Austria, friends in Sweden, friends in the black metal community, in the Scandi countries. It's brilliant to welcome all the lost souls from all around the world.
Oh, I was very much a lost soul. Like, I think I was someone who, this was pre-coming out as anything, pre-talking to my family about anything. This was someone who didn't even know who they were. You know, I moved here with a different name.
Oh, sorry. Sorry? Sweet. All right, we're gonna...
My name is Ray Hobin, vampire bartender, I guess. I think the fun part of the job is the vampire gimmick. You know, I love bartending, but being able to kind of, you know, do, I guess, what I call the Camden thing, you know, being alternative, being, you know, amongst all the people with the dyed hair, the tattoos, the piercings, When I moved to London, I was the cleanest dressed, brownest haired, you know, person that you could imagine meeting. And I came here to do a graphic design degree, which I finished. But in the process of finishing my degrees and being a student, I was trying to find places in London that I could, you know, return to and go to, because I moved here with nothing. I had, you know, there's no family here for me. There's no friends here waiting on this side of the ocean for me. I moved here completely on my own at 18 with just the clothes on my back, you know. At the end of the pandemic, to me, it was a no-brainer to come to Pete and go, hey Pete, you know, I just finished being a student. I'm going to be doing a master's degree in September, but I would like to have, you know, I'd like to work here. This would be a really great place for me to, you know, learn how to bartend. I've always been in hospitality for you know, I've always been back of house mostly. So this was my first front of house job.
Yeah, so Warner Brothers came to us through a friend who's a toy dealer who provides a lot of toys, like vintage toys for their movies. And they came to us when they were launching the movie Ready Player One, and they wanted to do a secret film launch in our location, because we had like a screening room downstairs, and they wanted us to design the most 1980s pizza that we could think of, which of course is a ham and pineapple pizza. The classic Hawaiian is like the ultimate 1980s pizza. You know, it's really when America and Italy drew that line in the sand and said, this is our pizza and this is your pizza, and never the twain shall meet. So, you know, if we're gonna do a Hawaiian pizza, it's got to be a little bit different to how everyone else does it. So the first thing I say is that, you know, if you're gonna have something salty and sweet, you want a little bit of spice with it. So we have a little spice through the sauce already. We use a tomato sauce, and then a couple of handfuls of cheese go on top. Lovely. We use honey roast ham. Now if we're gonna have something spicy, something sweet like pineapple, we gotta have something spicy to go with it. Some fresh chilies go on top. So it's gonna go in the oven just like this. Yeah, he's gonna go in the oven just like this. So I grew up in Liverpool, and my brother's like 12 years older than me, 11 years older than me, and he was the manager of a video store in Liverpool, like in our neighbourhood where we lived. And you know, he was my babysitter, and he wasn't much of a babysitter, but he was a very good video pirate. So while the whole time that like he was supposed to be watching me, I was just in the back of this video store watching this never-ending stream of celluloid content. You know, right up to the point where, you know, my job was to swap the videos around in the VHS players while we were making copies for him to then on his walk home sell around the neighbourhood. So, you know, really, it was just an exposure to like, this is the 80s, so it was like video nasties and horror movies, stuff that I really shouldn't have been watching. Horror movies just kind of like, just called to me, really. Here we go, burnt it, just kidding. Oh shit, have I? Oh no, she's perfect. Wicked. This is going to be the ready pizza one. Scripted for our old friends, Warner Brothers. You're going to slice it first. Listen to this. That's how you want your pizza to sound. Beautiful. So nice, light pizza. Then we're going to summon some deliciousness. And that is how you do a pineapple pizza. Ready pizza one. So I'm named after Peter Pan. So my bedroom always had, you know, Peter Pan and the Lost Boys everywhere, and I've got a huge collection still of Peter Pan books and stuff. And I found this video, The Lost Boys, and I was like, okay, cool. And I looked on the back, I don't know if you know, but like, it's a very Joel Schumacher thing. On the back of David's motorbike, Kiefer Sutherland's motorbike in the film, he's got like a crucifix tail light, and I was like, what? I was like, right, hold on. So this is Peter Pan on a motorbike with The Exorcist, and I was like, yo, this is the film I'm gonna watch. And it became the film that I watched every day before school, and working way up through, you know, different, always big branded like hospitality like experiences. So which was good, because when it came to my own business, and I was like, I'm going to open a vampire themed pizzeria. everyone thought I was an idiot. You know, so this came mostly from Americans asking for white pizza. Do you do the white pizza? Do you do the white pizza? Your pizza's the best. But in New York, it's all about the white pizza. And so I wanted to sort of speak to that, but I don't like potato on pizza. I find it a little bit boring. So, you know, we played around with like looking for like a carbonara type pizza. But then I wanted this to be vegetarian, and then we were playing around with goat cheese, so I wanted it to be something that riffed with goat cheese. So it was awesome at the time, and I make a lot of soups, and I'd made a butternut soup, so butternut squash with chilies, and I literally was like, I'm gonna take this into the shop, I'm gonna put this on the pizza instead of tomato sauce, I'm gonna see how this works. I think I made some goat cheese croutons that went with it, and I was like, yo, this bangs. So I went into the shop the next day with a really runny version of this sauce, because it was a soup, not a sauce, and tried it, and the flavors were all there, you know, the textures weren't there. So then we spent some time workshopping it. You know, at first we tried it just with the goat cheese, and I was like, no, it needs some body to it. So we put the mozzarella as well. Then the goat cheese goes on. We played with like whipping the goat cheese and all this, but it works best if it stands up, you know, like a marshmallow. You kind of want it toasted like a marshmallow when it comes out. And you also, the secret to a good goat cheese pizza is lots of goat cheese on the pizza. Some red onions go on here, and sun-dried tomatoes. Beautiful. Nice bit of sweetness. Good bit of texture against the softness of the cheese as well. Now, even if it wasn't for the fact that we're going to make this look extra satanic, this is a hell of a good pizza already, isn't it? Look at that, it's just beautiful. Not too far away from the pumpkin in terms of relations in the vegetable patch.
I was going to wrestling shows here in Camden and throughout London, and Pete used to take pizzas back to the guys in the back at wrestling shows. So I'd hear the ring announcer come out and be like, thanks to the guys at Lost Boys Pizza, or Lost Souls now, for bringing pizza to the guys in the back. And I was like, oh, Lost Souls Pizza, and that stuck in my head. You know, it sounded cool, goth pizza.
You'd have all these like 7-foot giants coming through this tiny little shop in Tufnell Park. And one night we had like maybe like 20 wrestlers in the room, and we had a power cut. And we were like, oh man, we had like, 20 pizzas on order. And I was like, do you know what? The oven's still warm. The oven's made of stone. Like, it's gonna stay warm for another 2 hours. So we got flashlights on our phones, like holding our phones in our mouths and like making pizzas in this oven and then dropping the pizzas to these wrestlers. So it was kind of cool that we had like all these, future heroes of wrestling coming in and eating pizza in the dark with us at midnight in Tufnell Park.
It's because this place is, it's home. Lost Souls was home, and so it was, the first place that I could, first place that I found family in London, the first place that I found, people who are actually looking out for me. I know that if I leave this place one day, I will still always have, welcome arms to come back to, and that's always been so incredibly important about this place to me. Is it's not just about, the pizza I'm serving, the drinks I'm serving. Place where, no matter who you are, you come get a slice, you come get a cocktail, and you get a clap on the back, and you're home. You're with friends. You're among people who will, no matter where you come from, look out for you.
Best pizza. I'm gonna fuck it's best pizza.
And to this day,
But is it art?
God damn. Yeah.
People never have to fake looking at pizza with love. Never.
Nice.